Good morning, everybody. This is Robert People of RobertPeople.com, and you are listening to People's Court. That is RobertPeople.com. And thanks for tuning in. Today is Monday, December 9th, 2019. I'm going to start this episode with a question. If your house or any section of your house caught on fire, no, let's say the whole house. If your house caught on fire, what do you do? Do you remove the things that the fire is reaching, like the things that the fire is burning up? Do you remove those objects? Do you quickly do that? Or do you look, of course, if you have the necessary items, such as fire extinguishers and so on, or do you grab those items and attempt to put the fire out? Next question. If your car's check engine light comes on, check engine or any other light that says there's a defect of some kind, and please forgive the noise. I'm outside and walking around enjoying nature right now, so everything is taking place. Beautiful day. But anyway, lights come on. What do? Do you go into your car to disconnect the wires that cause the lights to come on? Remove the fuses, whatever it is you have to do. Okay, I'm not a mechanic, so whatever it takes to get those lights to shut off, as far as just unplugging something. Do you do that? Or do you have your vehicle checked out? They sound like simple questions, right? They sound simple enough. So why do we do this? For the most part, let me go back for a second. For the most part, we attack the source, right? Lights come on our vehicles. We go to the source of the problem. We don't look to shut the light off. We just say, let's go find out what this is. This could be an issue. Let's find out. That's usually what we go to. Most of the time, we don't ignore it. And if you are somebody who ignores your check engine light, remind me never to ride with you anywhere, Penny. Okay? Shout out to Big Bang Theory. If you don't know the show, that's something, there's a character named Penny, and she always drove with her check engine light on. So just remind me, go ahead and I'll walk. I think I might be better off walking. But anyway, you go after the source, right? With the fire, you don't run around and just find everything and try to grab it and let the fire just stay burning, but you're just grabbing stuff. And I'm not talking about grabbing things to get out of the house. I'm talking about grabbing things while just letting the fire be. Okay? Most of the time, again, with the items there, you will attempt to put the fire out. Because why? That's the source. That's the source of the problem. So why do we do this with guilt? When it comes to guilt, the first thing many of us want to do is get rid of the guilt. That feeling of guilt. We just want to get rid of that part. We don't acknowledge the source of the guilt. We just want the guilt to stop. We just want the guilt to go away without, again, going to the source. And that's what we need to do. If there is a source of guilt that you are feeling, that's what you need to go with. Is what the source, because that's how you get to the bottom of your issue. That's how you get rid of that guilt, is through the source. For example, you get on social media, right? You get on social media and your friends, you have friends who talk about going to the gym or exercise and everything to that effect, right? They talk about those things. But that's something that you want to do, right? That's something that you want to do. And you feel guilty because you're not doing it. You take it out on that person. Of course, we're not even take it out on that person, but, I should say, you indirectly take it out on that person. You make comments. You may actually do it directly or indirectly. Directly by posting comments on their page, throwing shade. Go to your own page and make comments too. or whatever the case. But you know deep down that exists, that feeling exists because you are feeling guilty. Otherwise, it wouldn't make any difference that somebody else is working out. So, what is the answer there? To unfollow everybody who talks about working out? What is that going to do for your guilt that you weren't doing it yourself? It does nothing. Because for one, you'll never be able to get away from every source out there that involves working out. You may say, well, the source of my guilt is seeing people exercise, seeing people at the gym. No, that isn't. Seeing that leads to your guilt. But where does the guilt actually come from? Because if you don't care about working out, if you have worked out for the day, or you're on your off day, like if you work of course, if you work out every other day and that's your day off, it's not going to make any difference to you to see somebody working out. It shouldn't bother you one bit. But if you feel some type of way with someone who mentions going to the gym or talks about whatever it is, the guilt exists because you know that's something you should do yourself. The source is not the people. Getting rid of everybody is not going to make you feel any better. Getting rid of everyone is not going to make you feel any better about it. Because when you see something else, it'll still be there. You drive to work. You go anywhere, right? And you're going to drive by a gym. You're going to drive, Planet Fitness and all this good stuff. You're going to drive by, people, running on the track or whatever, running on down the street, on the sidewalk, whatever. You're going to see all that stuff. The source of the guilt is what you need to go after. Don't get rid of the feeling of guilt. The feeling of guilt is going to stay there until you go after the source. We focus too much on the feeling. We say, I don't want to feel guilty for doing this thing or for not doing this thing. I don't want to feel guilty about it. Well, the answer might be just to not do it. Let's say you drink, and this is not to put drinkers down, those who are alcoholics and so forth, or deal with substance abuse in that matter. But if there's guilt, guess what? That's the issue you have to go after. Which is not the same as saying it's easy to do. It's not the same as saying it's easy, but that's just where you have to go. That's just, that's the source. That's what you have to work on. Not by finding a way to say, well, let me try while still doing the same thing every day. Let me try to figure a way out to not feel guilty for doing this. But I'm gonna keep the behavior going, but I just don't want to feel anything about it. No, you got to go after what you're doing. That's what you have to work toward. Okay, pretty simple, pretty cut and dry, right? Simple as in what's being stated. I understand life is not as easy as that. Okay, absolutely not. But remember, when you are feeling guilty, and you got to be honest with yourselves now. You got to be honest with yourselves. Okay, we can jump on social media all day. We can run around and be honest with everybody else. We can tell everybody the truth. Keep it 100 with everybody. So let's do some 100 with yourself. Let's do some hard truth. Let's do some looking in the mirror and saying, okay, this is what I have to work on. And be just as brutally honest. We love to say that, right? I'm just brutally honest. Okay, give yourself that same brutal honesty that you give everyone else. Don't sugarcoat it. You don't sugarcoat it talking to everybody else, right? So give yourself that same thing. Don't sugarcoat it when you look at your own issues. Be as harsh on yourself as you are with other people. Don't sugarcoat. Don't beat around the bush. Because the ones who run around and they strut like a peacock, chest out and everything about how they are with everyone else, one thing I've noticed a lot about folks like that is that they tend to go hide when it's time to look at themselves. Don't hide when it's time to look at you. Look at you the same way you look at others. When you point the finger, guess how many you got pointing back at you? 3. Right? So remove the source of the guilt. Nothing right. Guilt is a normal feeling. It's a normal emotion. But don't sit there and throw it out just because. Don't try to ignore that or to get rid of just that feeling of guilt without removing the source. Go after the source. Okay? All right, short one a day, but again, Robert People of robertpeople.com. Thank you for tuning in. Have a great Monday.